we got some beats. Okay, so yeah, these are improvised videos of me making some music, and the aim is to share with you some of the ways that I've made some sounds that sound quite okay together. And you know, there's no real magic going on, you know. These techniques you can use yourself. The only magic is allowing yourself to just create something. Just create, as Nike kind of said. So randomly searching for some sounds. I'm looking for a kick drum. I love sub kicks. Real fat sounds. I'm using Maschine, made by Native Instruments. Amazing piece of kit. This device is the Maschine MKII, which is signified by the coloured pads and the ability to change the skin. This skin is red. It's like a sheet of metal with a lovely red finish. You can get different ones. So yeah, got a beat, got the metronome is on. Okay, so just testing out sounds. I'm probably going to add a hi-hat or something in there. Because, yeah, hi-hat's really good for just getting down the beat, you know. So the metronome generally is not a very nice sound, so add a hi-hat in there, and it makes it easier to get some other beats down. Alright, straight in with this trumpet sax kind of sound. I duplicated it to a different group from the actual kit that I loaded in. That means that I can then identify that that group is specifically that sound. It looks good in the mixer. You can go to mixer view by pressing shift and navigate, and that brings up on the laptop or computer the mixer view. Maschine is used by many musicians. There's a really good Red Bull Academy video, and it might be sponsored by Native Instruments. Nevertheless, it's really good. Not necessarily because it's about Maschine, but it's for producers talking about making music, and they do go into a brief bit on Maschine being their primary creative music tool. You can find the video on YouTube. It's on the Native Instruments channel, and the video is called Hip Hop's Big Leaguers Talk Beat Making and Maschine, and it was published on the 10th of June 2015. The great thing about Maschine is that it's so versatile. Like many other software instruments, MIDI keyboards, you know, basically just use it as a tool to create. And this is something you can do that I do often, is like I just use one project and I just keep making different beats within that project, and it saves time. You don't have to make new projects. Give it a shot. Here's a quote from Salvador Dali: "Have no fear of perfection, you'll never reach it. If you look for perfection, you'll never be content." Leo Tolstoy. I mention them because I just mentioned some of these quotes purely on the grounds that perfectionism is a major problem, because it stops people doing anything. It stops people from creating anything, from pushing their barriers, their boundaries. And there's always a reason, there's always an excuse, you're waiting for something, you're waiting for life to get better, or you're waiting to be in a better mind space, better position, more security, a better job, less things to worry about. And they might sound like logical reasons, but generally they're not useful. Those reasons are generally not useful, because when is a perfect time to create something? Just do something seriously. That's what I'm getting at. And that's why these videos exist now, is because I just wanted to show you, man, it's not that hard. Just let yourself do something. I've explored how to use Maschine, and I really dig it. And these are by no means anything special, but it sounds alright, and I'm comfortable enough that these sound pretty good to share them. It's like, when I started this video, I didn't know it was going to sound like this. So the more you create and the more you can improvise, the more confidence you'll get, and the more you won't be too fussed that, oh my god, what does it sound like? Oh, it sounds terrible. But it doesn't. It sounds alright. Just do it. Here's a great quote from Jack London. Jack London says, "You can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club." That's a really good point, because so many times I've heard people say, and I've said it myself, to myself, a certain thing has to be right before I do something. But from exploring, being creative, I've realized that you do something. That's it. Simple as. Don't dwell too much. Don't think about it too much. Just put things into action. Here's a great quote by Ray Bradbury. He says, "Don't think. Thinking is the enemy of creativity. It's self-conscious, and anything self-conscious is lousy. You can't try to do things. You You simply must do things. That's a cracking quote. There's so much information on the process of being creative, and I would sincerely recommend a few sources. One would be Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss shares podcasts regularly, and he speaks to top players in specific fields, like, you know, the big shakers, the movie makers, the swingers, the hard hitters, people that are, you know, pioneering in their field. And there's so many good interviews with people that you probably know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there's one which is really quite powerful, and it's Robert Rodriguez, who made Desperado. Super multi-talented dude, worth a listen. From there, Robert Rodriguez has his own where he interviews other directors. That's cracking too. Yeah, I think the trick is knowing when enough is enough. Sometimes you can overdo it. I'm just like, whoa, hold on, yeah. And sometimes you don't know until you've gone too far, and then it's like, okay, well, yeah, let's take that out. I found that also with photo editing. Say 6 years ago, I would over-edit. Now I'm trying to edit without it looking obvious. But in the past, it felt like the picture wasn't good enough until it was edited too much. But at the time, it didn't seem like too much. It seemed like that was adequate. Putting a bit of swing on that hi-hat there. Just a little. You press the swing button to the left of the big dial, and then you hold the pad down. Use the big jog wheel, and you can increase the percentage of the swing. If you wanted to add swing to a group, you just press the group. And you can also put swing on the master by not holding down any pads, any group. Just turn the jog wheel. So yeah, I think we're done for this. You know, this could be quite a good track. It's at least a good start for a track. So please create something.